This is our weekly series, the Board Game Geek Climbers. This is the top 10 of this Board Game Geek Climbers list, which is put together weekly by Michael Alexander. This is for the week ending October 7th, 2020. The way this is going to work is I'm going to look at the top 10 games, give my opinions on them, what I know about them, and, kind of some insight into where they're heading in the future. So let's get started. So number 10, Fort. So this has been on here for a number of weeks now. In case you're not aware, this is kind of a unique deck building game with a card following mechanism similar to Glory to Rome, but with a unique deck building mechanism where essentially your cards can get stolen by other people relatively easily. I think some of the best parts of this game are the unique artwork. I think it looks really good. I do like the following mechanism and the kind of engine building mechanism in it. I like the player. I really like how the tokens look. I think they did a great job kind of with the graphics design of this game. I like how the boards look. So overall, I'm a little bit mixed on the game. I don't see this hitting the top 100, but I do see it being pretty well received overall, especially due to how the game looks. I think today in board gaming, how a game looks is not more important than mechanisms, but I think it's maybe slightly under the mechanisms and how the game plays for for consumers. I think if you have a really strong game itself that looks terrible, it's going to be a really hard sell to a lot of people. You need to have both. I think this has good mechanisms and great graphics design. So that is number 10, Fort. Number 9 is Superskill Pinball 4K. Now, I think I heard about this a while ago, and maybe I'm thinking of it. I think there's maybe another pinball game. So it brings classic arcade pinball to the tabletop with art, atmosphere, and roll and write mechanisms. So this is interesting. And this is, I guess there's no price on it yet, so it must be just coming out. But it's got some actually really good looking graphics design. Maybe it's a really cool roll and write. This does look unique. I think I like some roll and writes. I think I like, maybe my favorite is Welcome To. This will be one to keep an eye on. This could have some staying power, especially if the gameplay is there. Let's look at this. This thing's been moving up pretty quickly. I would say I guess it was a print and play before it was retail. That's why it has some ratings beforehand. But it looks like the retail version of it's getting some solid ratings. We'll see how it does in the future. The roll and writes tend to not make in the top 100, so I wouldn't expect that from this. But it's always possible for a really strong candidate. So that's number 9, Superskill Pinball 4K. Number 8, Red Outpost. So this is interesting. This was one I almost backed on Kickstarter. I thought it looked unique. Thought the theme was a little bit different, but I decided against it because I thought its worker placement mechanisms, I don't know. I think worker placement's a tough genre right now because there's so many great worker placement games, and it's hard to differentiate yourself on that mechanism alone. I think you have to have something else going for it. Now, I do think the theming of this was pretty unique. It's like a alternate history Soviet farming thing. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Scythe, but not like the giant mechs and stuff, if I remember right. So let's see here. We'll go through this. I think they did a good job on the tokens and everything. I do think that I guess it's pretty small. Wow. Not a very large game. So I guess the board fits in the box. It's going to be like a root style or size game. Not terribly big box. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see this, how well it does. I'm not expecting huge increases here if the new ratings are sitting in this range after a Kickstarter got released to people. So it'll probably do well, but not amazing. And I guess I don't really regret not backing it. So that's number 8, Red Outpost. Number 7, Takano. So we've talked about this one before. This is the latest T game. Tzolk'in, Teotihuacan, and Takano, and I think there's another one coming very soon. They seem to like T's and ancient civilizations, so that seems to be their thing. This one seems to be doing pretty well. I don't know if it's going to eclipse. I doubt it's going to eclipse Tzolk'in. I think people really like that, although my opinion of Tzolk'in is I think there's some problems with some of the mechanisms, and they probably fixed. I actually have Teotihuacan in my playlist pretty soon, and I'll probably be playing this in the future. One thing I do like about this game is the table presence. I don't know if this is the deluxe version of it. Probably. It'd be amazing if this is the base version with these cool components. I really like the look of the obelisk, and I think the only thing that this game is missing is they should have done a better job with the dice. I don't know. It does. I mean, yeah, it costs a little bit more to do like a custom die, but I think that doing that might step your look of your game up a little bit more. Like they could have done some unique pips, or they could have done like unique faces to go with the theme. I think it would have been cool. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I think it's going to do well. Do I think it's going to hit? I guess it's moving up quick. It may hit the top 100, although probably not. I guess this person's saying 173 to 124. So depending upon how it does, it'll maybe not quite get top 100. It's still good. It's very solid for a game. That's number 7. So number 6 is Yato Deluxe Master Set. Now this is one I do kind of regret not getting. I did see one on the local traders forum for sale, and I considered picking it up, but I passed on it. I'm probably gonna be regretting it in the future. I think the game just looks really good. They did a great job on the production here. The artwork is especially good, and I think that this is going to take Yato to another level. Is it going to land in the top 100? It may not, just due to the fact that deluxe editions tend to not rise that quickly, unless it's the original edition of the game and the game's really amazing. But a reprint deluxe version tends to not get as many ratings because probably the only people buying this are fans of Yato. If you haven't played Yato before, you may just play a newer game. To be honest, that tends to be how board gaming goes. So anyway, I think it looks really good. I think it'll, it's kind of a regret of mine to not that I didn't pick up the Kickstarter here. This is number 6, Yato Deluxe Master Set. It is moving up pretty good though. It's got 139 ratings already, and I think a lot of people are getting it this week, so in the mail. So hopefully this one will continue to do well. And the ratings are solid, as would be expected from a essentially deluxe version of an existing game that people liked already. So it's number 6, Yato Deluxe Master Set. Number 5, Seven Wonders Second Edition. So this is this is an interesting comment from John Newman. I do believe this edition is an improvement. I don't think that there's any drastic differences in the game. If I remember right, it's mostly artwork and stuff. I honestly haven't played Seven Wonders in a while. Um, I don't. I mean, we're in a pandemic, obviously, but I never really got that many people in a single game. Seven Wonders was one of the few games that supported large groups pretty well, and I think that instead of this, I would rather play like Century Golem Edition or the new game coming out, Arcana Rising. I think both of them are better, maybe more modern games than Seven Wonders. Let's take a look at it though. So I do like Seven Wonders Duel though, which if you haven't played it, it's a 2-player version of Seven Wonders and it's done really well. It does look like they've updated this. Yeah, it looks like they've updated this with kind of the Seven Wonders Duel artwork style. A little bit better cards, artwork. Player Wars looks similar if I remember right, but again, it's been a while since I played. So I don't expect this one's going to hit the top 100 just due to second editions, unless they're like drastically improved or maybe like reworked and modernized. They're not going to move up as quickly. So anyway, number 5, Seven Wonders second edition. Number 4 is Trekking the World. So this is a essentially reworking of Trekking the National Parks, if I remember right. Yeah. Second edition. And I think the main draw of this is the artwork and I think maybe the relaxing nature of the game. I haven't actually played it, but man, some of this artwork looks really good. I hope it's on the cards. I think I think this would be a good game to play with your kids to get them some help them learn geography maybe and you enjoy the natural wonders of the earth. I think it looks really good, and maybe we'll have to pick this one up. We'll have to see. For my kids, it's I guess 10 plus. Community says 8 plus, so I guess my kids are getting old enough where they potentially could play it. And yeah, so there we are. That is number 4, Trekking the World. I don't see this hitting the top 100. Maybe, I don't know, maybe top 200 where it's going right now, but we'll see. It could end up gaining some steam as we're going into Christmas shopping season. So here we go. Number 4, Trekking the World. Number 3, Castles of Tuscany. So this one was on the list last week. It is essentially a re-implementation of Castles of Burgundy. I don't myself know the differences of it, but it looks better. But again, it doesn't take much to look better than Castles of Burgundy. It doesn't look amazing. I'd say it looks okay. It does look like you're kind of building. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the details on the specifics of the game, but it does kind of look like you're building your thing out instead of having a predefined board that essentially you're dice drafting on. I do wonder if it fixes. I mean, I love Castles of Burgundy, but I'm assuming that's not part of the game. I wonder if it fixes some of the, if you get some really bad rolls, because it doesn't look like this has to do with dice. So that would be interesting. So if you get some bad rolls in Castles of Burgundy, you just can't make it work. But I do love that game. I think it's probably Steffenfeld's best game. So we'll have to see how this does. I don't think it's going to hit the top 100. Probably just shy, or probably be in at least the top 200 games. So we have it, Castles of Tuscany. Number 3. So number 2 is Kotel. This is apparently some people do not like this, and some people really love it. I do think it's been getting decent reviews. Let's take a look at it. I think the it's again this I guess since Azul came out, there's been a number of abstract strategy games that have tried to come into this Azul area. I personally think the best abstract strategy game is Azul Summer Pavilion for most people. I think it's the best version of Azul. I think it's the most approachable. I think it takes all the fun stuff of Azul and makes it easier to learn and quick, I guess less stressful to play. Because I don't think Azul's a game you should be playing stress or being stressed about playing. I do like how these dragons look. I think the dragons look amazing. It would be. I guess you draw them out of a bag, probably kind of like Azul. Looks like you have some sort of board. Interesting. Let's see what the mechanisms on this are. Contracts, hand management, pattern building, and set collection. So, I guess kind of. Yeah, you're basically. Okay. Yeah, you're basically taking tiles from central board, drafting tiles, or from your player board, which is that area, and then once you finish your third serpent, you finish the game. I think it looks good. It's relatively inexpensive. It's in the same price range as Azul, which is a good spot to be if you're an abstract strategy, and it's getting, I would say, solid ratings, especially for a abstract strategy game, which until Azul came out, it really was not an area that would get any attention. So this one I think has a shot at the top 100, but probably will land just shy. Considering it's kind of seems to be very polarizing in terms of what people like. So anyway, that is number 2, Kotel. And our final game, number 1, is Bloomhaven Jaws of a Lion. So this thing is rocketing up the list. I think it might eclipse Gloomhaven, but there might be some diehard Gloomhaven fans that vote it down. I'll give my opinion again on this. I think this is the best version of Gloomhaven. I think it's the most approachable version of Gloomhaven. I think it's the refined version of Gloomhaven with the adventure book. I think it's the smaller version of Gloomhaven, so more people are going to be able to play through and actually, play through the game. I think it keeps all the, the great things about Gloomhaven, but speeds up the gameplay with the adventure book. Keeps the great card management stuff, and I think Isaac really, with Frosthaven, once they put this out, he really understood that people love the adventure book concept, and I think that the tile stuff is going to be gone in the future from games. I think everything's going to go to this. If you're doing a dungeon crawler now, you need to be doing adventure books. I don't see how you don't go that direction at this point, unless you're I'm assuming this doesn't come in it. This looks like 3D printed, or it looks like 3D printed stuff. Some 3D printed inserts. So Hero Quest doors. That's pretty funny. That's kind of weird paint job. Some of these, and it comes with the miniatures, which I think is great. It comes with kind of a mini version of the legacy element where I think you're putting stickers on Gloomhaven instead of on the world map. I think it's just you unlock stuff, you get new miniatures, you get to do the same sort of things. And I think it's in a just a more approachable package. And I think that if this doesn't reach the top, if this doesn't beat out Gloomhaven, it's simply because the hardcore Gloomhaven fans voted down. So anyway, if you're looking at trying out Gloomhaven, just get this. It's probably more than you'll ever play. And if you happen to make it all the way through, you can continue with Gloomhaven or Frosthaven in the future. So there you have it. That is the Board Game Geek Climbers for the week of the 7th of October, ending the 7th of October, 2020. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe. Please take a look at our other videos. Thank you.